Of 2021, a video of him came out in which he threw a fish on the ground and then stomped it to death while smiling at a camera. As you can imagine, this was extremely disturbing.
Yeah, we gotta definitely lock these type of people up, just because like it's gonna start with the fish and then it's gonna escalate to more and more things. Maybe it's gonna be a fish one day and then it's like a squirrel the next day, and then it's like a dog, and then maybe he's gonna graduate to a person. So just lock him up. When the autism card no longer works. Video by Maury. I'm assuming it's gonna be about how some disabled people use that as an excuse whenever things happen and they get called out for it. They'll be like, yo man, I'm on the spectrum, man. It's okay, man. I'm on the spectrum. I didn't know any better. And the last time I saw this happen was when I watched like a Gideon video, and you know, he catches preds and all that. And then he caught a pred, and at some point he was talking to them and he said, man, I'm disabled or something, blah, 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 blah. And they clearly were, but that's not an excuse for doing bad stuff, man, because if you are using it as a tool to get out of things, that means you know that you're not supposed to be doing these things. So it's like, why are you using it as an excuse? But yeah, let's see how Maury breaks it down. Let's see what the situation's about.
So I just found out about this guy by the name of Joshua Block, who's apparently a raging, animal-abusing alcoholic with autism, who recently got jumped and punched because he started blurting out very loudly on the middle of a public sidewalk that he hates immigrants. Now, not gonna lie, before today, I did not know who this guy was. I've never seen his face before, never heard his voice, never seen any of his content before. Nothing that I recall seeing. But apparently, this guy blew up off of this video he uploaded 4 years ago while he was in Times Square singing Alicia Keys' song.
Yeah, in New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made.
I'm not gonna lie though, when you look at this guy, you can see that he's on the spectrum, man. Like it is, you can tell he got something going on.
Now you're in New York.
Yeah, not my cup of tea. You know, the vocals are a bit patchy. He's kind of off key. But since he has autism, I'll give
He kind of looks like Jinxie, and I'm gonna be honest. He kind of does look like the streamer Jinxie.
him a pass for that performance. However, now 4 years later, it seems as though that this guy been punched in the face after going off about immigrants, has now, according to TMZ, and basically saying that he hates them. And guys, I looked into this guy. I just want to say having autism doesn't give you an excuse or justification for being a scumbag. Like, he's notoriously known for hitting people, assaulting them, stomping on vehicles, stomping on and killing fish on the ground with his feet.
In June of 2021, a video of him came out in which he threw a fish on the ground and then stomped it to death while smiling at a camera. As you can imagine, this was extremely disturbing and left even his most loyal fans in disbelief.
Yeah, so that's the type of guy we're dealing with here, huh? A very sick and depraved individual who's kind of being shielded.
Yeah, we gotta definitely lock these type of people up, just because like it's gonna start with the fish and then it's gonna escalate to more and more things. Maybe it's gonna be a fish one day and then it's like a squirrel the next day, and then it's like a dog, and then maybe he's gonna graduate to a person. So just lock him up. Like the first clip we seen of him singing, he looked like he was like super young, and he looked like he didn't know any better. He's just being cringe, but like you could see his evolution. He's getting older, man. He's looking more like, he kind of looks like a ped, if I'm not gonna lie to you.
And protected by the quote-unquote disability of autism. Here we have an instance of him going to Japan for one of his content tours, and literally going to Japan, called for a cab, got into an argument with a cab driver, and proceeded to call him an immigrant fuck, while that man is literally in his own country.
It was supposed to be a completely normal Japan trip, with Josh walking around the cities, trying the local cuisine, and the usual. But as you might imagine, it was anything but normal, with Josh calling a local taxi driver an immigrant F-word.
You immigrant fuck.
Yo, like, I'm so confused. How do you call somebody and
maybe it's like a tick, man. Maybe it's like a tick. Like you know how people with Tourette's, like they have to say certain things and they have to like at random they just say things.
It was devastating to see that I kept hurting people's feelings and people kept pushing me away, and people kept judging me, and I kept hurting the people around me that I really cared about.
Every couple now seconds he just gets like that urge, like, immigrant! What? I'm not saying he should use his autism as an excuse, because it's obviously not. You could tell that, you know, it's affecting the way he interacts with the world.
immigrant fuck, while that man is literally a Japanese man, a native in his own home country. And now that I watched this entire video by Internet Anarchist for like, it was a 20-minute long video, right? And I see this whole guy's timeline. He lost his mom when he was 14. Guy has a severe case of autism. And it just seems like he's had some kind of chaotic downward spiral full of disgusting, heinous, scumbag-like activities that has led him to the point to where his autism could no longer protect him from getting his ass whooped.
Yeah, Josh! Oh, no.
He's still going after getting beat?
Boys out here chanting.
Like, you can't expect people to not push back. It's like if you go anywhere and then you're out here spewing slurs, maybe like you're saying the N-word or something, bro. You don't expect, like, people should not punch you just because you're saying words. But you don't think somebody's going to get offended and want to do harm to you, man?
I hate immigrants as if he's at a college football game cheering on his home team. Like, bro, this is actually insane.
Yeah, Josh! Yeah! Yeah, Josh!
Oh my gosh, but you can definitely tell this dude is like, he's not right in his head, man. He's not right in his head just by the spasms of his body and the way he talks.
Oh, no! No!
Somebody clocked him right in his stuff, man.
He's bad, bro.
Somebody in the back is like, yo, he sped.
Oh, I don't know if you guys caught that or not, but he really just said, nah, bro, he sped, bro. He sped. And basically, sped is slang for slow or mentally challenged. As if that was going to save him. See, this is why you got to teach your kids accountability. Now, I know his mom died when he was 14 and his father, I don't know where he was in the image, but you have to teach your kids accountability, regardless of their mental disabilities or their physical ailments or their self-diagnosed afflictions. People have to realize that just because you're autistic, and yeah, autism will kind of make you a little weird in the head and make you say things that you shouldn't be saying. There are people out there with Asperger's and tics and all these uncontrollable things that make them say and do things that they're not supposed to be doing. They're neurodivergent. I get it, but it seems to me that this guy, Josh Block, he knows exactly what he's doing, and he does a lot of these things for content, which is only exacerbated by his autism. His autism kind of acts like liquor in the way that it would for like normal sober people when they take a little bit of licky, a little bit of the Henny. It kind of like lowers their inhibitions enough to the point to where they start saying and doing outlandish shit. So is
but it's just the fact that so many people exist with probably a higher level of autism than him. There's so many people who have these disabilities and it doesn't make them like a bad person. They don't do these outlandish things. So it's like we cannot use it as a shield.
Autism is kind of like a 24/7 crash out dummy for this guy.
My nose is broken!
He says his nose is broken. I don't know if his nose is actually broken, but hey, after all the things I've seen this guy do online for content.
Gosh, put the fries in the fucking bag.
You put the fries in the bag. I'm gonna kick your butt!
Yeah, that was a girl passing by knowing who Joshua Block is saying, put the fries in the bag, bro. It's an ongoing meme in the community. He gets triggered by it. Apparently, anybody who says, put the fries in the bag to Joshua Block in his proximity, he starts chasing them down like a rabid dog, like a rabid crackhead on steroids, and proceeds to assault them. Now, I don't know what just happened to that young lady. I don't know if he actually hit her, but this guy, genuinely speaking, he can't control his mouth, nor can he control, apparently, his physical.
But that was a very good way that Maury put it, is that having autism is probably like being off of the liquor 24/7. And when people are off the liquor, you say things that you would never say. You have like a liquid courage, as they call it, where you would do things and you would say things that you wouldn't normally do. Like, that's a pretty good example. And still, I'm gonna say, like, even people who are off the deep end of alcohol have like these mental like boundaries of like, yo, I am messed up right now, but I cannot cross these boundaries. I cannot do certain things, even though they are probably, very under the influence. I don't know what it's like to have autism. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like you can still control your impulses if you put your mind to control them, and maybe you learn to live with them better and not just use it as an excuse anytime you do something bad. This kind of reminds me a little bit. It kind of reminds me of like when people go around and they talk about like horoscopes and like, oh, I'm an a-hole because I'm a Scorpio and that's just how we are. Like, all right, bro, but like you can't, like, you're just gonna use it as a way to continue your actions. You're using it as an excuse so you could continue being the way that you're being. Just being like, oh yeah, I'm just like this, man. I'm just like this.
Proclivities to hurt people. So I'm not surprised that his karma finally came his way. You said, bro is literally screaming as if he's actively dying, as if he just lost his life. Bro, relax. I'm pretty sure his nose isn't even broken. He's just being very dramatic.
And you know what's the messed up part about this? Is that this is not going to be a learning moment for him. It's probably going to be a moment where, like, in his mind, immigrants are terrible people because I'm right, because they attack me because I'm right. And that's how people justify these things. That's why there's still racism in the world, because they have this confirmation bias. They'll be like, yo, black people are a certain way, blah, 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 blah. These Mexicans are a certain way, blah, 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 blah. And then they tell it to them in a disrespectful manner. They'll go up to these people and be like, yo, bro, you're like this, blah, blah, blah. Somebody gonna take offense, maybe smack you in your face, and you're gonna be like, look, I knew I'm right. These people are uncivilized, blah, 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 blah. You are the one confirming these biases because you're the one provoking people, man. People are gonna stay brainwashed by their own thoughts and ideas just because they look for the outside world to confirm these things to them. This guy is, you know, he's on the spectrum, so he probably is not thinking that deeply about it. But I do feel like this is the type of things that happen when people do these type of things where they're just spewing out hate everywhere. They confirm their ideologies to themselves. Oh my gosh.
She said, I'm doing TikTok. You see, he literally content farms everything. Literally. Supposedly his nose is broken, and instead of wanting to go to a hospital, now he wants to pull out his phone to record for TikTok. Why does he sound like that guy from
Yo, he sound like some good like edits for like YouTube videos, man. Like if in the background, like if somebody's like falling,
SpongeBob that always screams, my leg, my leg. Gotta say though, guys, as a disclaimer, I do not support violence or assaulting other people for, you know, things that they say. Obviously very highly illegal, and that is something I do not co-sign. I will say though that clearly this guy is mentally challenged, and apparently a viewer donated in $3 to kind of point out the fact that the people surrounding him are kind of using him for content, exploiting his mental ailment and autism to, you know, get rich and profit off of his outlandish public activities. However, he did not want to hear that at all.
So any attempt from the audience to convince him of Mr. Bates' manipulation, he is blatantly taking advantage of a vulnerable young man without a hint of remorse, and Josh's audience hates him for it. What's even more sad is that Mr. Bates knows exactly what he's doing.
So this is the guy who's supposedly taking advantage of Joshua Block at this moment right now, kind of like his manager.
He's convinced Josh that he's the only person who knows what's best for him. So any
what a heartless freak, man. Like, what a freak of nature.
Attempt from the audience to convince him of Mr. Bates' manipulation has ended up being completely futile.
Mr. Bates, how does it feel to exploit a young, disabled person like Josh for abuse?
Disabled?
Just go to rehab, just go to rehab, Josh, go to rehab,
Disabled?
Go to rehab, Josh, go to rehab.
That is so sad, man. That is actually sad that this guy is getting taken advantage of by this guy, and he doesn't even notice it. And there's just it just proves that there's some heartless people in this world. Just like how on Kick, like a few months back, this guy that was also mentally challenged was he thought that he was streaming with his friends, and he was the elderly guy that ended up dying because they were just taking these things to another level with him and then pretending to be his friend and then egging him on. So I wouldn't be too surprised, man, if the same thing happens here, man, where this guy takes this guy over the edge.
So you can see Josh is freaking out at somebody calling him disabled, right? And the funny thing is he's crashing out, like proving in real time that he's literally, I mean, good God, what do you call this, bro? Somebody calls you disabled and you start freaking out, proving that you might be a little kooky in the head. I don't know if he has more than just autism. I'm getting the feeling that he's undiagnosed for something else going on inside his mind. However, here's an explanation video, I believe from that night, which was like last night or 2 nights ago, of Joshua Block kind of venting to the world about what he's going through. after being jumped.
I'm going through a difficult time with my court case, being on TMZ, and all the hate that I'm getting. That's why I keep drinking a lot.
Honestly, based off the comments that I'm seeing right now, people are saying anything but accountability, Captain. Somebody else posted this edit of George Floyd with, I suppose, his face edited on top of it. What the hell? Like, somebody else said, the boy who cried fries. So yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm gonna call it there. A truly tragic situation. I hope it doesn't go any farther to where this guy is self-harming or maybe harming other people because that guy's taking advantage of him. I really hope not. It's kind of funny, like, we're gonna laugh at these things. I was laughing a little bit too, but it's kind of sad when like life is really kind of like Black Mirror, man, where people will like post their lives on the internet and they think they're like doing something and they think that people are like laughing with them. In reality, we're just laughing at you. And it's truly sad, man. This guy deserves to, like, this guy should just take his life off the internet. If it was me and I was around this guy, I'd feel like he should just take his life away from the internet, you know, calm down, because like the internet, even for people who are not disabled, it gets to your mind in a different way where it becomes your whole life. You become like, everything is clip farming, everything is for content, and you become super fixated on the opinions of others. So I can just imagine how that eats up somebody who's maybe autistic, man. It's truly sad that people are going to take advantage of him, but that's just how ruthless people are, man. But yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed. As always, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps the channel grow immensely. Until next time.
Head to the stars, 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 head to the stars.